Welcome back to the AMZ Affiliate Bootcamp course. We are in Module 8, Lesson 4, and today we're talking about becoming a website selling or buying pro. Again, I'm your instructor, Justin Cook, and I'm here with my business partner, Joe Magnotti. We're partners at a company called Empire Flippers, where we help people buy, sell, and invest in websites and online businesses. So we've gone through the entire process of valuing your site, the sales process, getting your site listed, and actually negotiating the deal. This is the lesson where we get to advanced strategies, tips, and tactics for becoming a pro in the buying and selling space. So the first thing we should talk about is, who are these professionals we're talking about? Well, they come in several different shapes and sizes. The first would be individual portfolio website owners. They may own anything from 3 to 100 different websites. Either they've built them themselves, or they've bought them, or they've partnered with some people on some sites and built others. But these are just kind of the individuals that own a large portfolio of sites. The second group would be partnerships who own portfolios. So a lot of times this may be 2 or 3 people. Maybe one of them is the actual builder of the sites, and the other 2 are investors, right? They're simply passive investors supporting the team and the process for building it out. And they can own 5, 50, 100 different websites under their portfolio. The third group would be management groups or private equity. Now, these are generally larger players, and they run things like a hedge fund, a small hedge fund with sometimes millions of dollars in the fund, and they're looking for websites and online businesses to purchase. So they may have a particular niche that they're looking at, or a particular size of Amazon affiliate sites that they're looking to purchase. They may be looking for Amazon affiliate sites to diversify their portfolio, but these are some of the bigger players. And then the fourth group are sellers just like you. Now, if you're just starting this course and you've just kind of started building your first few sites, you're going to think I'm crazy and that I don't know what I'm talking about. But we're going to actually talk about some paths you can take to, within 2 to 3 years, actually become a professional in this space.
And I've seen all these types of buyers and sellers in our audience. I've spoken to them on the phone. They're definitely out there and they exist. And you can become one of these, or even multiple ones of these, in due time.
Just to give you a brief history of this, I mean, we have just over 50% of the people who buy our websites are repeat buyers, and over 25% of our sellers are repeat sellers. So these are generally people that may sell 2, 3, or 4 times with us a year, and people that may buy 4, 8, 15, 20 times with us a year to kind of fill out that portfolio. Now, some of these people have done 6 figures worth of business with us. Some of them have done 7 figures of business with us. I can give you one example. There's a guy named Ace Chapman. I actually run a podcast with him where he's a co-host and I'm one of the hosts as well. It's called Web Equity Show. And he actually acts as a buyer's agent. So generally we help sellers like you list and sell their sites. But he is on the buy side. So he will act as the buyer's agent and help them find sites that meet their criteria. So he's regularly shopping on behalf of his clients through our listings, looking for sites for sale. If he finds a good one, then he'll ultimately help buy that site with his group of investors. He also buys sites himself. Sometimes he'll invest in the deals, and he's definitely an industry player. All right, so let's talk about the 2 different paths you as a seller can take to become a pro in this industry. The first path is rinse, repeat, and scale. What we mean by that is, once you've built up a profitable site and you've had it for more than a year and it's earning more than $300 a month, it means you can then turn around and sell that site. Once you've sold it, you've realized, I can build these sites and get a bunch of cash up front for them at the end of the deal. I can do this again. So once you realize you have those skills, you realize that your golden goose are the skills you've learned and the eggs are the websites you're creating. So you may go back again and start creating more websites and selling more websites in your second and third year. Eventually, you're doubling down on your skills, which you've learned through this course, and you're going to make a lot more money. And by scale, we mean adding people and process to it to where you can actually start doing more and more sites. When you're starting off, it's common for you to be the one doing the keyword research, for you to be the one writing the content, or maybe ordering the content from places like TextBroker that was discussed in the course. But over time, you may have other people doing the ordering for you. You may have other people doing the keyword research, and that's when you've built a real machine and you can scale it up. The second path we're going to talk about is the level up strategy. So sometimes sellers over time have sold a few sites and they realize, look, I think I could provide more value by selling a bunch of $30,000, $40,000 sites and turning around and buying a $200,000 site. So they save up their money, they build this nice little nest egg, and then turn around and buy a larger site that has opportunity. Maybe they get really good at conversion rate optimization, at making sure the conversion rates to Amazon are much higher. They can improve traffic. They have better SEO skills, and they want to play a bigger game. And that's the level up strategy. So we're going to cover both of these in some detail. The first path, the rinse, repeat, and scale process. So step one is you need to master the AMZ Affiliate Bootcamp process. If you've got all the way through the course and you've actually built some of these sites, you've got them earning, the next step is to sell these sites and see that you can actually realize this cash up front. Once you've done that, you've mastered the process. The second step is to create one $2,000 per month site per quarter. So if you can get to the point where over a quarter, you're front loading the work, over a 3-month period in the first year, you build out site A. In Q2, you build out site B. In Q3, you build out site 3. Q4, you build out site D. You've now built these sites out. They're getting up to $2,000 a month. It's not exact. Maybe one is earning $2,500, one is earning $1,500, but on average, they're earning $2,000 per month. In year 2, 12 months after you've built these sites, you can sell these sites in year 2 for a total of around $160,000 to $200,000. That's a ton of cash. Let's assume that you spent, $3,000 on each of those 4 sites. That's $12,000 spent, some elbow grease, and $160,000 to $200,000 within 1 year of building those sites.
These kind of numbers might seem fantastic to you if this is your first time doing online businesses, but it is possible. We've helped hundreds of sellers achieve this kind of strategy, and I really like the rinse, repeat, and scale approach. It's something we've done before in our personal history and something I would absolutely do again.
Yeah, and that's kind of why we're fired up about it, because we actually this is the path that we followed, Joe, right? We built out a few sites. We were doing it ourselves at first. We started to work with our team, build out more sites, started selling those sites, and then reinvesting those profits into building more sites. So here's step 4 of the process. Now you've sold, on average, those $2,000 per month sites for around $160,000 to $200,000. You're a bit flush. You've got some cash. The next step is to double your site creation in year 2. So as you sell, the first quarter's site in Q1 of the next year, you then create 2 sites that quarter instead of 1. Right? If you figure $3,500 per site, 8 sites over the total of a year, you're going to spend about $28,000 in year 2. The good news is, though, as you're following the same process, and on average the sites are making $2,000 a month, you're going to be able to sell all of those sites in year 3 for somewhere between $320,000 to $400,000. Once you've reached that level, you've got processes in place, you've got a team, maybe it's virtual assistants, or you've hired employees. You now have a team, a machine that's able to print these sites for you, and you're not involved in the day-to-day. And that's one of the real benefits is, yes, there's work required, there's front-loaded work where keyword research is being done, content's being ordered, stuff's being published to the site, internal link building's being done, but you're not doing much of that anymore. At this point, you're managing the process. So this is experience that Joe and I have had. This is kind of how we got our start and cut our chops in the site building industry. We know this path works, and we really recommend that you take a look at it. All right, so let's talk about the second path, which is the level up strategy. It's very similar in the beginning. Step 1, master the AMZ Affiliate Bootcamp process. You've already taken the course. Now you need to do some trial and error, try to build these sites. You're going to have some failures, you're going to have some successes, but eventually you're going to get through it and you're going to find some sites that are making money and working. Step 2, again, create a $2,000 per month site per quarter. In year 2, you're going to sell for between $160,000 and $200,000 in the following year. Now you've got options, right? Again, you're flush with cash. What are you going to do? Well, you could reinvest that into building more sites. That was the original path we talked about, but this one's a little different. So what you're going to do with $160,000 to $200,000 is reinvest into one larger site. So that's one option, is that you sold $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 sites. You sold a few of them. You now have, let's say, $150,000, $180,000, and you find a much larger Amazon affiliate site, except this person didn't take out their leaks They didn't optimize their conversions. They're not SEO'd. Like there's a bunch of keywords that are really popular that are on the second page. Some keywords that are like position 5, position 6 on the first page that you can improve. And you find this amazing site that you know you can add value to because you've done it before. So now you're just leveling up. Instead of having the smaller sites, you're actually doubling down by buying a much larger site. The benefit of buying a site over building one from scratch is the first thing, you already know it's got a certain level of success. So when you're building sites from scratch, there's a failure rate. Some of your sites are going to fail. They're not going to earn as much money. But this one has already been past that. Plus, all the front end work has been done. It's already been built. It's already been started for you. The niche has already been proven. Now it's just a matter of, can you add more traffic? Can you improve the SEO? Can you improve conversions? And the second benefit is that it doesn't take nearly as long of a track record to sell your website. It's already got an earnings history. It's already been earning for 12 months, 18 months, 24 months. You could take this site, improve it, and within 3 to 6 months, you could sell it for double, even 3 times as much as you originally bought it for. Now, this doesn't always happen. There's no guarantees that this will happen, but we've seen it happen where someone bought a site from us and within 6 months, it sold for 2 or more times what it was purchased for.
We work a lot with these sites that get resold on our platform multiple times. So don't underestimate the value that something as simple as an Amazon Associates site can increase in value over the years.
So aside from just doubling down into a much larger site that you can make improvements to, one of the other things some sellers will like to do is they like to diversify their monetization methods. So the Amazon affiliate program is great. It's relatively easy. We've got plenty of buyers for it. But there's a big potential problem looming. If you build your entire business on the back of the Amazon affiliate program, and for whatever reason, Amazon affiliate program shut down on you, there goes all of your earnings, everything you've built up, it's all gone, right? So as you get bigger and you start to make 6 figures, you realize, okay, now I need to diversify my risk a bit. I don't want to have all my eggs tied in the Amazon basket. And one of the things you can do is to start, instead of buying Amazon affiliate sites, start to buy or look at drop shipping sites, start to buy or look at e-commerce sites or Amazon FBA businesses or AdSense sites, info products. There's SaaS businesses. There's a ton of different monetization strategies that website and online businesses take. And if you start diversifying across multiple platforms, it's a bit more confusing and there's more work and there's a learning curve, but it helps protect you from a catastrophic failure like losing your Amazon account.
Yeah, and this is the way the big portfolio guys are doing it. When they own multiple sites, especially they get over 3, 4, 5, 6 sites, they want to make sure that they have different monetization methods, different traffic methods, so on and so forth, so that not any one point of failure can take them out.
So with either path 1 or path 2, once you reach that second year and you start selling off the sites and you start reinvesting, building out the process and teams, or you buy that second site and start to make, changes to the conversion rates, you're now a professional. You're in the space, you've passed the test, and you're now part of one of those professionals that is buying or selling or building sites on a regular basis. You also have a team and a process in place to continue to do that month after month, year after year. All right, now we couldn't fit everything into this lesson, so we do have some advanced resources for you to check out if you're interested in hearing more about different monetization methods, about different partnership structures, about how to, ultimately make deals with buyers and sellers, the different types of financing that are involved. One of the things you can check out is the Empire Flippers blog. We do in-depth case studies, interviews, and we talk about a lot of these alternative business models and monetization methods. You can also check out the Empire Flippers podcast that Joe and I both host. We talk about entrepreneurship, we talk about travel, we talk about scaling your business, we talk about hiring people, industry interviews. There's a lot to the show. I'd also recommend checking out the Web Equity Show. I co-host that with Ace Chapman, who is a buyer's agent, and we talk about, from start to finish, we talk about buying and selling websites. So from having no idea what you're doing to all the way getting through the sale or actually buying your first website, we have a show that can help you with that. Also, if you just want to say hi, you actually appreciate this lesson and want to reach out and let us know, shoot me a tweet. I'm at Twitter on Empire Flippers, at Empire Flippers. Come say hi.
And I generally live in Manila, Philippines. I'm there most of the year, although I do travel somewhat. So if you are in the Manila area and you want to meet up for lunch, dinner, a beer, let me know.
All right, the last thing we're going to say in Module 8, Lesson 4 is don't get distracted. I know in this lesson we talked about a bunch of different monetization strategies. We talked about the professionals and funds and equity groups and partnerships and all different types of business models. But the thing is, if you're just new at this, if you're just starting out, following this process, the AMZ Affiliate Bootcamp process is the thing you need to do. We talk about it like putting blinders on, right? The horse is racing down the track. They have the blinders so they can only look ahead of them. Shiny object syndrome is a real thing. When you start looking around at, oh, what's dropshipping? Or how do I make money with AdSense? That's really distracting. Where, to be honest with you, most of the strategies you're going to learn in this course are going to be applicable to future business models. So you need to work and perfect these.
Yeah, I would also say if you have a site that is getting traction and picking up steam, it's time to focus on that site and see if you can expand it and make it bigger, rather than saying, oh, I did some keyword research and I want to just start all over again. That little bit of head start can go a long way.
So ultimately, a solid strategy plus hard work is going to equal success. If you already have a site that is earning money, you can check out our valuation tool to get a really good idea on how much it would sell for. We've worked and perfected on this tool, and we actually use it to price and list all the sites for sale at Empire Flippers. You can go to empireflippers.com/valuation-tool and take a look. If you're ready to submit your site for free, again, this is a $297 value. If you're part of this course, you don't have to pay any listing fee. Go to empireflippers.com/special-offer-listing-form, and you can submit. Just use Cloud Living on the dropdown, and you'll get your free listing submission. Again, this is Justin Cook. I'm one of the partners at Empire Flippers. I'm here with my business partner, Joe Magnotti, and we want to thank you for taking this course and going through our module.